guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zadie and today is Bookmas Day 11. Today's video, I'm going to be telling you about my 2025 book tag. So it is a series of questions and I'm just going to answer them for you. Alright, let's get on to the video. I will have the questions on the screen. The first question is the best recommendation you got this year. And I would say my best recommendation was Cinder by Marissa Myers. This was a really good book and it was recommended by two of my best friends. My most disappointing book of the year. Yeah, I think if you knew me, this is obvious the answer. I was really interested in the premise of this book and then it just didn't live up to it. So I was very disappointed by it. The next question is, what is your underdog book of the year? And my underdog was actually Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. It took me a very slow time to get into Hunger Games and Catching Fire. Like, it would take me so long to read like the first 7-10 chapters and then I like raced through the end. But Mockingjay I like finished so quickly and I was very pleasantly surprised and I really enjoyed the book. Now for the opposite, my most overhyped book, it was The Housemaid by Rita McFallon. I wouldn't say like fully overhyped, because I don't know what its opinions are online, but when I read it personally, the person who recommended it to me, they were like, this is the most game-changing book. You will not guess any of the plot twists. It's insane. My jaw was dropped the whole time. And like, yeah, my jaw dropped a couple times. Like, I was surprised by some things, but it didn't live up to the expectations that she set for it, and that's why it's just overhyped for me. Next question is a book that surprised you, and this one, mine is The Funny Story by Emily Henry. I had read a book by Emily Henry before and I didn't really like it, and there's one that I also read that I did like, so I didn't know how I was going to feel with this book, but I did really end up liking it. I just like ended up liking it more than I thought I would. And another thing that surprised me in this book was that one of the characters said another character's like full name, first and last name, and the last name was the last name I knew. And I was like, I had a face to that last name. It was really funny because I was just not expecting it. And it was just, it kind of taints the book a little bit, but I still really like the book. My favorite book couple this year, his favorite is Matthew Slater and Gigi Grayson. I love them so much. I don't care if they're not canon. They will probably be canon, but they better be. The next question is new favorite author that you discovered this year. I have two. So my first one is Rena Kent and my second one is Suzanne Collins. I read so many Rena Kent books this year. March was a fever dream. I read, I think, maybe 15, and then I read a couple here and there throughout the end of the year. And then Suzanne Collins, I read Hunger Games trilogy for my book club, and I might have had a slow start to it, but I did really enjoy it, and I do plan on reading her other two books. Next question is the author that didn't really work out for you this year. It wasn't Anna Hong, because I read 4 of her books this year. I didn't like them as much this time as I read through them, because I think I was like looking at them in a different light. So the next question is the happiest book that you read. I didn't really have many happy books, and so the happiest book I think I read was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, because a lot of my books that I read, they did have like sad parts in them, and so I don't really have a way to like decipher which one is the happiest from them. And The Graham Effect, I think, even though some of the things that are in there are like a little, like I feel a little pity for you, I think it's still the happiest. And now for the saddest book that I read this year, it's definitely Kingdom of Ash. I cried so many times in that book. I don't think any other book might top it because it was just really sad for me. The most frustrating book that I read this year, it's actually 2. It's The Lies and Truth Duology by Rena Kent. I was just really confused when I was reading this. I didn't understand what was going on. And I had no idea what was going on. Next question is the best book adaptation of this year. There's only one book that I've read this year and I've also watched the movie for, so it was kind of obvious. So it's The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I really enjoyed the movie for this book. I watched it with my friends and it was really funny because there's one time, like 2 of them have watched the movies and then one of them hasn't. And I also haven't. But it was in this one scene and like the girl, Katniss is about to like get jumped by the wolves, and I screamed when the wolf like jumped, and I was like, ah! And it was like so funny because my friends, they got scared at me. instead of the movie, because some of them like knew that would happen, and then but the sound was like different, so that like scared them. Next is my favorite covers of this year. I don't really have a favorite cover. I think my favorite, if I had to choose, would be like Snow Globe 2, because I really love Snow Globes. That series' covers are so good. A book that I haven't stopped thinking about. I haven't stopped thinking about this book. Even though I hate it, I have not stopped thinking about it. It does have a whole playlist on my YouTube channel, and it is in like every book video that I do. So it deserves this spot. The next one is an unpopular book that you loved. I don't know how unpopular this is in like ratings, because I've also never seen it talked about online. But at least in my like real life knowledge, I know that this book was kind of unpopular, because this is a school book, and I really liked this school book, but a lot of people like did not. So I would say that this is my unpopular book that I loved. A popular book that I didn't love. Ooh. So popular book that I didn't love, love is like kind of a strong word, like I'm obsessed with that book is how I see love. But since I did like this book, I didn't love it, so I'm gonna use it for this. It is Powerless. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Like, I might read the rest of the series, but I'm not like itching to read it like 24/7. The book I thought I loved but didn't was actually Snow Globe 2. I was like so obsessed with it, and I was so excited for it, and then I just didn't really love it so much. It like wasn't really my favorite, and it just didn't live up to its expectations I thought of. So that's why I didn't really love it. I loved it. I still really liked it, but I didn't like love it. Book with the most unique concept. Okay, so Snow Globe 2. The series, I haven't seen anything at all with this concept. And I would say if I read this book this year, this would be my favorite cover. But because I didn't, it's not. So its second book in its series is my favorite cover. Read this. Read this series. It's really good. I have not read anything like it before. It's like Hunger Games-esque, but I say esque. Like, it has that kind of feeling with the government, but it's not like at the same time like they're fighting in an arena. It's just like problems with the government. Book I read this year that I would reread, definitely The Naturals. I would reread The Naturals if I wanted to. I'd reread it. Then I'm Glass, I'd reread it. I've already read some of them already. Priority read for next year, I guess, is Six of Crows, because it's in my might read, so. No, it's in my hope to read, because it's on my shelf. My reading goal reflection. I started this year with a 48 book reading goal, and then after March, I changed it because I knew I was gonna read more books. So I changed it to 60, and then some point in the year I changed it to 64. I don't remember when I did that, but I did. And so current reading goal was 64, and I have read a total of 70 books. So I did beat it, and I beat my original one by a lot. When I do my reading goals personally, I try to do it in intervals of 12, so I don't know why I did 64. Don't know why that came from, but that's why I started at 48, because it's a lower 12 and I can read 4 books a month and still hit the goal. And then 60 is 5 books a month and still hit the goal. And there's some months where I might read 6, 7. And like in March, I read 17. So it like gave me some months where I was like, I can read less books if I feel like it. And so my reading goal for 2026, again, is gonna be 48, and if I need to lift it throughout the year, I can, because I know I might beat it. Next is book I wish I got to this year. It was either Devil Wears Prada or A Ballad of Never After, because I brought The Devil Wears Prada to camp to read, and I didn't read it. And then I also bought A Ballad of Never After to camp and didn't read it. And I have them both on my shelf, and I wanted to read them, but I didn't. What will you prioritize in your 2026 reading year? I'm gonna try and prioritize more like discipline-esque stuff, I'd say. Because when I get really into a book, I will keep reading that book, and I like will not want to put it down. So I need to just find a way to convince myself that the book's not leaving you. You don't need to read, you don't need to keep reading, because I'm shooting myself in the foot because I'm not studying for my tests and quizzes that I have for school. So the next question is goals for reading in 2026. My goal is I have some books on my book club independent reading that I want to try and knock out at least one of the series. My goals for book content. My goal is to try and post at least one video a month. And anyways, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you tomorrow for our final day of Bookmas. Bye!